penalty should be reimposed in our country. A criminal on death row has a chance to prepare his death, make a will, make his last statement, or even enjoying his or her remaining time. While some victims can never do that. Have you ever thought about how many criminals escape punishment, and yet the victims have never a chance to do that? In argument of this, there are two lives to think about. Too much emphasis is placed in the convicted murderer, the one being executed, and the victim is all forgotten. The capital punishment is the death penalty. It is used today and was used in ancient times to punish a variety of offenses. The death penalty is vital to protect a person's right to live. Our laws today are too lenient. The penalty must be appropriate to the seriousness of crimes such heinous crimes. Even the Bible advocates death for murder and crimes. There was a time when the Catholic Church actively campaigned for death penalty. As the quote says, "The murderer shall surely be put to death, that vengeance is where a place anyone be at peace." During the Philippine Revolution, Manila Archbishop Bernardino Nozalida openly called Filipino rebels to be exterminated by fire, sword, and wholesale executions. The 1987 Constitution abolished the death penalty, was reintroduced in 1993, and the first person who met the punishment in 1998 was Leo Echegaray, who was found guilty for raping his 10-year-old stepdaughter, and was abolished again from the time of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Death penalty is not a sudden execution for the people who commit crimes. It runs a thorough investigation that will last for more than years. Some people argue that the capital punishment tends to brutalize and disregard society. Some says the penalty is a legalized murder because it is like an eye for an eye. Executing someone is not a murder. It is a punishment by society for a deserving criminal. The difference between punishment and a crime is that one is legalized and the other is not. Death penalty can reduce the crime rate in our country because criminals will just be taking advantage, become bolder and careless for committing such heinous crimes, knowing that they will only be imprisoned. And that is why they are not scared of repeating such heinous crimes. Death penalty costs the government less. Some critics says spending for people who commit such heinous crimes is such an impractical and just a waste of taxpayers. The 30 says, how can crime be deterred if they never implemented the law? They say implementing death penalty puts innocent lives at risk, but not imposing it puts more innocent lives at risk, especially if you let those heartless criminals live and kill more people. In the question of death penalty, we should ask ourselves which action will serve the true humanitarian purpose of the criminal law. We should weigh the death of the convicted murderer against the loss of life of his victims and the possibility of the potential victim to murder. And that is why we should implement or reimpose the death penalty in our country.